experience on Saturday at the Liberty, and I had to do breaststroke on the way out. We were going into the wind, and I couldn't breathe. I tried bilateral breathing, both sides. I mean, I've never choked in that water before. And I just, yeah, what you gotta do. You know, it just depends on Mother Nature what she decides to do that day. Is it calm? Is it sunny? Is it cloudy? You know, you just don't know. So you have to be prepared. And it's good that you get out there and get in these different conditions. So on race day, you're not like, oh, what do I do? So just take your time. You kind of have to think about that too. Is it going to be your fastest time when it's 95-degree heat and really like it was on Saturday? That's when I made it through. So I just kind of have that mindset too. So there's no time to get through it other than just take your time, relax. Yeah. That's about it. Good question though.
Will there be a changing area where we can get in with wetsuits?
Yeah.
No.
Porta potties.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you swim, you bike, and you run in whatever you wear.
Yeah, make sure you're wearing something under your wetsuit. Do the change here. You're not wearing anything under it. A lot of
Originally, actually, on that, my going in thought was I'd wear my jammers and my wetsuit over it, and then take off the wetsuit and put on a bib. But I'm thinking it's going to be hot enough. I probably won't even need a bib. I'll just, throw on a jersey and socks. And
usually, and there are people still for spring and Olympic District so we're in the same outfit. But really don't need to that's if you for like full Ironman events, they have changing areas.
Sure.
Because a lot of people have got one long, really big jean shorts.
Right.
Actually run attire, some try to, you know, things where it's like.
Yes, no change. Yeah.
On your checklist, you mentioned a marker and duct tape. What do I need those?
Marker would be like once you get body markers that starts to come off. Duct tape, they say to try and find you in transition, to try and find your spot if you want to kind of duct tape a symbol or whatever. But there are many people that do that. I don't think Lifetime allows. They used to be able to bring balloons in to hang from the bar here, but I don't think they allow you to do that anymore.
Okay.
So it's just something creative to try and remember. Otherwise, you have to count racks as you come in, from the swim and then from the bike to where you're at. Otherwise, you're in this sea of 2,000 bikes. But you guys will have it easy because you're in your own little transition area. So you guys will be easy cake. You'll just have to find your bike within this number of people. So.
Where did you get them? I wasn't there. Couldn't make it last time. I was
yes,
sick,
we've
so
got
I wanted
those.
to pass those out there.
Yes.
That's something that I did.
Yes, we have extra those.
We got a whole bunch.
Your pathway.
I haven't been in any of the sessions.
Oh, well, welcome. Any other questions before I start?
All right. We need some? There you go.
Personal preference. And it depends on if that day water is too warm or don't be wet for people anyway. Yeah. So. All right. Well, let's get started. Welcome, guys. My name is Kara. This is Ken from Endurance House. Welcome to first timers. A lot of familiar faces in CA. Training's going good, I hope. We got 24 days until race day. We've answered questions. Let me know along the way if you have any other questions that you think of that pop up in your head. We've got one more race clinic after this. It is prep week, or prep clinic race week. So it's that Wednesday of the race week. Okay? We're going to meet at the Colas, correct?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So we kind of go over outside transitions out there, kind of point out where things are going to be staged, so you can kind of see the actual location before you come to race day on that Saturday. Okay, so it's we're going to this. Are we going to be able to do a small workout?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
So we'll be around buoys and stuff, which is really perfect for them.
Okay.
How many people have not done an open water swim yet? Next week? All right. Tomorrow? Nice. Okay, who has done open water swim already? All right, what was your thoughts?
Wow, it's so different.
You would agree with that too, wouldn't you?
Yes.
I need to practice it a lot.
I know the first time I did it, I went out there and I was like, oh yeah, and I was trying to keep up with the same people I was doing with indoor swim. And then I went around the corner and I'm like, holy cow, this is a lot more work and I'm so tired. And I went out so fast that I was like gassed, like around the first corner. Did you have the same idea?
Oh, yeah, that's why I was so puzzled about how far I was going, because
Yeah.
I was like totally gassed out. Just by going out to a couple of buoys and coming back.
And on race day, I mean, how many people are competitive in here, right? That's kind of why you're here, right? So, on race day, what I found is that my competitive nature kicks in, and I always go out way too fast. And so I purposely sit there, and I will watch everyone line up for the swim, and then I'll take a step back, and I'll go to the back of the pack. And this way, when everyone else is running into the water, I purposely walk into the water. And I'm not trying to be super fast, but what it does is it kind of kills the competitive edge to me, and it lets me start off at my own pace instead of thinking I need to keep up with the people in the front. And then usually by the time I turn the first corner, I'm with the people in the front already because everyone else is now gassed out because they were doing the same thing. And they're hanging on the first buoy, and I just went by them at my own pace. And so yeah, figure out what your comfortable pace is, and then find ways to manage that. Staying relaxed, like you said, it's a huge thing. We can give you some tips on our next one. We'll actually go out to Lake Nokomis. We'll go out there, we will do some swim, we will practice transitions onto the bike, and practice transitions on the run and do all three. So we'll put us through a short and condensed one so we do all three in an hour, and then do some teaching at the same time.
I started swimming over at Schultz Lake at Lebanon Hills, and that's really a peaceful little lake, and so you can kind of get your bearings there.
It's very relaxing there because there's no
They have a
competition.
swimming lane, and I found out, took a few calls, that it's 190 feet lengthwise.
That's good to know that.
Yeah, so it's about 7 lengths. So it's right there. What was the name of it? I'm sorry. Schultz Lake. Schultz? Yeah.
Yep.
It's Lebanon Hills. It's off Cliff Road, just west of Highway 3.
And the cool thing about that one is it's never crowded. Where if you go out to other places, you might have a lot of people on this one. But do avoid Schultz Beach in the afternoon when it's nice and sunny. I don't bring your kids out there because you'll be in the swim lane with floaties, like floating dinosaurs and kids splashing.
Mornings are really nice.
Mornings are good. What's that?
So it's good to practice moving around.
Right?
Exactly. On the transition, you're getting hit with things, you're running into people. It's the same idea.
There's your competition.
Jonah.
All right.
Or if anyone else is in the boots, jump on up there, we'll get you set up with the boots. Try them out.
Shy. All right, our agenda tonight. Endurance House, we don't have any lifetime representatives here. Endurance House First Timers Program, most of you are familiar with that, but obviously you guys have never done a triathlon before, you're here, first timers. Yay! Are we excited?
So did anyone actually cheat and do their first race this week? Because I know a lot of people were racing. Jonah did. I saw him out there. Anyone else do a race?
I have one this Saturday.
You have one this coming Saturday? Nice. So Jonah, how did your race go? How did you feel?
Felt great, hell run. As you know, it was hot out, and I thought I had prepared pretty well for that. Out on the run, I did not. I cramped up, basically walked half the run. Took me about 7 minutes longer than I expected, but the rest of the race was great.
Good. Well, that's the thing about the heat coming up here. Like this past Saturday, it's going to be hot by the time we run. I don't know when you guys run for your practices, mornings or evenings, but a nice hot run might be helpful to try and see how you need to hydrate, see how you need to get some nutrition in you before then. Good. How about yours?
It's this Saturday.
Oh, it's this Saturday.
Which race is that?
On the League Minute Humboldt.
Nice. Good race. That was my first one a long time ago.
So you got the dinners out of the way? For the most part? All right, First Timers Clinic series, which we are in clinic number 5 of 6. What is transition is what we'll go through tonight, how to set up your transition, transition information, we'll work for the lifetime race, race day logistics. I've got a few videos that I found out the transition area for the lifetime race. We can kind of pinpoint, because I think I know where you're going to be placed. We just haven't gotten confirmation on that yet. And then we'll do any questions or answers at the very end for what you think of along the way. All right, for those of you first time that come to the clinics, what is the Endurance Plus First Timers program? It's an exclusive athlete development partnership between the Lifetime Tri-Minneapolis and Endurance House Twin Cities. Our goals through all these clinics are to help you alleviate any intimidation, build your confidence, and provide a smooth race experience going into the Lifetime race. This idea was first started in 2014 for the Chicago Lifetime Triathlon. We have a training plan, which if you guys need anything, I don't know if you have it, did you get a training plan on the website? By chance? Or do you need one? Since this is your first clinic?
On the lifetime website?
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at that, but I'm looking at my own.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. 6-part clinic series, which again are number 5, and never an intimidating atmosphere to answer all your questions. So please feel free. Don't think that any question is too stupid to ask, because it's not. Because somebody else is probably thinking the same thing right next to you. We will provide, our Lifetime provides the private transition racks and a private swim start and race day support on race day. Okay, so we'll have again our separate transition area for you guys. Here are our clinic series. We are in transition, and like I said before, that Wednesday of race week will be racing up at Lake Tacoma. So there'll be more information to come before that. I plan on meeting out at Lake Tacoma. Before that, they want to bring their bikes and stuff too. Bring your bikes, bring your wetsuits, bring everything that you need for race day. Okay, kind of do a dry run.
So we're right to from y'all.
Come in prior to Wednesday to pick up your wetsuit. Yeah. Yeah.
And pay attention to the temperature too. If it's really hot like it's been right now, if it's going to be like this all the way to the race, you might want to get comfortable without the rain one soon because it's going to be so hot. Lake Nicomas is very shallow and it has the ability to become like a bathtub really quick. And so I'm hoping it cools off for a couple days here because it's really warm outside right now. So.
All right. Who knows what transition is? Without reading. Transition is the 4th discipline of triathlon. We've got the swim, we've got the bike, we've got the run, and then we've got the 2 transitions in between. T1 is the swim to bike, T2 is the bike to run. Okay? So your transition is a place to store your belongings on race day so you can easily transition from one area to another. So I kind of set up, and I wish this was my bike, but it's not. So this is how my transition area would look. Obviously racks. You'll have to see it. They're pretty particular on how, I believe they've got rules where they have to hang from your seat. So you can't have your handlebars hooked on the rack. It has to be hooked on your seat. So it just depends if you want to hook it from the back. Some people might hook it like this. It just all depends. Somewhere where it's not going to fall over. Okay?
It also depends on how big you are too. Like,
Yeah.
Jonah, you're a pretty big guy. Did you notice that your bike doesn't fit on a rack very well?
My fit's fine.
See, mine won't fit because my seat's too high. So I have a really hard. In fact, I have one race last year. I had to have them raise the rack for me because I got there early and they're like, okay. I was like, can you lift it another couple inches because the racks were just so low that by the time I actually got my seat over the pole, my wheels were still touching the ground, and so it would just fall over anyways. And so they were able to do that for me. But yeah, it's depending on the front or the back, whatever, it's going to be easy to keep your bike on and off.
So we'll go over this slide and then we'll kind of go through what we have laid out here. Setting up the transition area starts with reviewing your triathlon race day checklist, which now all of you should have, to make sure you have all your gear when you arrive at the race. And like I said before, Lifetime will give you, when you go pick up your packets, they'll give you a clear bag. So I can't bring this into transition with me. Everything that I bring into transition has to go into that clear bag. So I usually end up wearing one of my shoes into transition with my helmet on my head so I can carry it all. So they're not huge clear bags. But that just kind of limits the amount of people to bring in there, because if everybody brought in a bag like that, there'd be no room. Because there will be another bike probably hanging right here. So So that's how closely, well, probably not in your transition, but the typical transition once you get out, that's how closely they are. So there'll be a bike here facing that way, bike here facing this way. So you literally have not very much room.
You really have the spaces under your bike.
Yeah.
So if you, like right now she has it to the side so we can see it, but typically it would be under your back tire because I will get up and around and that's your space. Anything else to the side is another bike.
So
Kind of being comfortable if you really can.
your transition area will typically consist of a space the size of a small towel, so space is limited, kind of like this. Use a small towel to lay out your space and lay out your gear. And then we're going to lay out your race clothing and gear in order of use with helmet straps unbuckled and shoes open to simplify and speed up the transition process. So as you kind of see, I have my helmet here. If you have air bars, this might work great, but just make sure your helmet doesn't fall off. So if I do this and it falls off, because if somebody runs by and hits it, your helmet's going to go bounce somewhere else.
Can I clip it to the bike?
You can do that as well. I have it here because immediately when I'm done, I clip it to go. So this is my first discipline that I've been, or the second discipline is the bike. So I have my shoes open. Typically I'll have my socks in here if you wear socks. So put your socks on, put your shoes on, grab your bike and then go. Okay? So when you come back in, and your helmet must be clipped by the time you move away from your transition rack. Okay? So put this on, fully buckle it, get on your bike, and then don't unbuckle it until you get back to your spot. So there's certain rules in the transition that you have to have this buckled still. Okay? So keep it buckled as long as possible.
And you usually throw your wetsuit disciplinary need to replace it where your bike is, or
What I like to do when my wetsuit's inside out, it's bright neon pink. And usually when I take it off, it's inside out anyway. I'll flip it over here. Just so this is telling other bikers, don't put your bike in my spot when you come back. And it's an easy way for me to find it. So that way my spot's always held. So when I come back in, I'll put my wetsuit on top of my bag, I'll put my bike here, and then take off. Okay? So when I come in, I can put that stuff aside, obviously underneath your bike. And then the next discipline, the third one, is going to be the run. So here's where I'm going to put on my race belt. So I have that laid out, my hat, and then my run shoes. Okay? So kind of lay out in order of your transition. You can use a small towel. Over the years, I've gotten smart and bought a mat instead of that. And then, yeah. Any questions on that?
So we'll have our bib affixed to the belt beforehand, right?
Yes. Yep. So these fancy dancy little things, this race belt, you can have your number already affixed there. Which these are handy instead of the other options, pin it to your shirt. But do you want to swim in a pin shirt? Probably not. So smarter thing is to get one of these babies, and that way you just have to put that on.
Now, will we need that during the bike?
You can put it on if you want, not required until the run. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. And then in your bag, you're going to notice you're going to have some stickers. Where in the world are the stickers? There's the helmet sticker. Goes right on the front. You're also going to get a bike sticker. Some people like to stick it on the post. Some people like to stick it on this post. So post or the So it just depends. So here or here, don't stick it in the front, somewhere where it's visible for them to see. Okay? You're also going to get a wristband from Lifetime. That's the only thing that's going to get your bike in or out of transition. So make sure you keep that on the entire day. And you're going to get it when you pick up the packet. Okay? Questions?
We believe like the bike and open the night before with the packet or during the morning packet.
You can either or, I believe. They don't have to drop off. Do they have to drop off Friday?
Don't like drop off during the morning Friday.
You can, but you don't have to. They supposedly have it guarded all night. If you do. But most people don't, just because in case it rains or something, they don't want to do it outside. So, yeah. And then don't drop off any gear the night before. Bring that home with you the morning of. Anything else?
what
your works. All right. Transition information, which will also be in your athlete guide. All bikes must be stickered prior to entering transition, like I just said, and must have that sticker from your packet somewhere on your bike. Athletes must wear your wristband in order to enter transition, as well as remove bikes following the event. Okay. Race staff and volunteers will close and secure transition during the race to ensure the safety of all athletes. So like we had mentioned before, and we'll go through logistics here next on the next slide, but transition will close at a certain point in the morning. Bikes number stickers will be checked against bib numbers and wristbands before bikes are permitted to exit transition. So they're one of the races that are very particular on really checking you as you walk out. So you have to have your number somewhere on you, if not your wristband, and it has to match your bike. Please do not retrieve your bike or gear prior to 12 p.m. They will not let you back in transition prior to that. So you may get done at 10:30. They will not let you back in. So prepare to walk around, get some food, and just relax until they open it.
That's why you want to have, you also have drop bags that you can stick stuff in so you're not wearing the race attire. You can put a pair of flip-flops in there to get out of the sweaty shoes and all that stuff. And have it inside the transition. So don't leave your stuff in transition.
Yes, anything you need right after the race. Be courteous to fellow athletes, volunteers, and race staff for asking them anytime of leaving disqualification. And again, I just took that from the athlete guide that you'll get, where that they'll send out. They usually the week of the race will send out this year's athlete guide. You get that. All right. Yeah.
Does our bike have a unique spot on the bar? You know, I mean, where we have to put our bike?
Well, for your transition, I'm assuming not.
Oh no, I mean, every race is different. Now
Yeah.
we're starting to mark them out, so you have to go to your certain spot.
Okay.
It depends on the race.
In the typical transition for lifetime, they do have the numbers, so you have to go to a numbered spot. But yeah, they have the numbers on the racks. So, but they have big signs. You'll walk down and it'll be just a sea of racks. They'll have signs on the end that will say like 100 to 125, sure, so you can put your number. All right, race day logistics, 5:45, transition opens for all athletes. Does that mean you need to get there then? No. But the earlier the better, just because, like we had mentioned before, parking down there is not very fun. If you get there later, towards the 6:30 mark, 7 o'clock mark, you're going to be parking ways away. Okay. Body marking gear setup and warm up can happen at this time, so you can get right in, get your stuff set up, you can warm up, you can head down to the water. Totally up to you, whatever your race preference for that morning. 7:45, transition will close. So that's when you need to take your wetsuit, your goggles, your cap, get out of transition, and then go wait for your wave to start. Okay. And you'll be able to look online as well as pack and pick up to see what time they estimate your wave going at. Head to the swim start with all your gear. Again, you will not be allowed back into transition until after the swim. Okay? So here's where we kind of had a mix-up before. I was under the assumption that all the first timers start at the very end. That's not true. You start at the end of whatever distance that you're racing. So if you're racing the international course, you will start approximately at 8:30. So the first wave of the international athletes will go at 8. You'll be the last wave at 8:30. The sprint race will go approximately 9:28. The super sprint is approximately 10:03. And then transition will reopen to get bikes out at. Or if they deem it earlier, then you can just listen to the announcements there.
Any questions, Dirk, for the super sprint?
Because there's not a lot of people in it. So they probably have,
It's more like a beginner, so it's close to the first time.
I'm assuming they're going to have one wave of super sprint at 10, and then the first time is at 10:03. My assumption. Any questions, guys?
What would the average time for someone like take to get through this? You know, from like 9, somebody looking at 3 hours, if I'm not in by 5 hours, they're gonna confine me.
What distance are you doing?
The sprints.
The sprint? Oh gosh, about 3 hours.
Okay. everybody's asking, you know, when and how long am I going to?
You're on the same run course as everybody else. So like the sprint will do 1 loop. The international people will do 2 loops of the run course. Super sprint, I'm not sure. They must go out and back.
Yeah, they have, well, super sprint. You know, one section that goes across the road, and that's a big step back. And so they go this around the way, this 2.5
Okay. Okay. So you're going to be on the course with everybody else. So you're not going to be the last man out there. Okay. So, yeah. All right. Are we
And
ready?
if you don't show up, we'll go find you. Bring some water.
All right.
And if you guys do need anything on race day, I'll be there in my transition moments. We're doing all the bike support for the whole race as well. So yeah, come on down. See us at 5:45 if you really are having a hard time sleeping at night. Just come out, say hi, get a good parking spot. And then, you know, there's a lot of time from when transition closes to when your wave actually starts. We're gonna go do some warm-ups. We're gonna make sure you guys are all ready. So I have a new camera. I'm gonna go and play. We'll make a good documentary for all of us to sit there and remember this commemorative experience. It's a momentous experience. So, but yeah, we'll have fun together. So it's yeah. If you guys need anything, go let me know. And lucky for you guys, if you do have something in the transition area after it closes and you need somebody to go get it, I'm already in there, so I can just go and get it for you. So you guys have a guy on the inside.
Yeah, great.
So that's happening. Yeah.
It is a fun time down there. You can be down there early. That's what I would suggest. The earlier the better. That way you can be relaxed. You're not worried about having to park miles away and kind of walk and be down there and try to find this and that. So the earlier the better. All right, let's see if we can put these YouTube videos up. Anybody think of any questions along the way?
Water stops like on the water that's available along the run route.
What are they?
With water, like do you have water stations up like approximately mile long?
On the run, I believe they're every mile. Mile and a half, I think.
Say one of the bridge.
There's at least 3.
Yeah, there's one outside the way too. Yeah, it's like a very. I know they have at least 2 on there, and one is going to be on the bridge area of it, and then the next one's going to be on the other side of the lake. And so, yeah, if you know anything about that, like having 2 stops on it's pretty good. If it's super hot,
And they have the water, they have, what is it, the Gatorade that they have, and the one on the bridge that have booze as well.
oh yeah. It's on there. It's not even above.
For the drop bag that's outside of transition, can we put like our keys in that and,
And, yeah, just make sure to tie your bag really well.
okay.
Did anybody not get a,
That, the drug base will be an area that's guarded in some of these.
yes, somebody will always be there, so they'll take it, put it in
There's
there.
your phone in there and
Yeah.
food.
Yeah,
Will that be a separate clear bag or is that?
that will be, yeah, just ask for another one, if you're not going to do it.
For those who can't see it because of the glare, I'll hold it up over here too.
All right, so I think we saw this one swim before. So this is coming up from the lake. You're going to go a left through the rails there to get into transition. You're going to hit the tree first.
I would like to be that guy that had a drone just drop right to that hill.
Right.
Wow.
So it's kind of a little bit of a run, but you're going to come in, which is where I think right where your transition is going to be. So it would be perfect for you guys.
It's just, well, that's
Holding. So this run, or the run in the swim is going to be your run out. You're going to go right for your run out. So you're going to use the same little, look for the arches, basically. The arches are going to be the ins and outs for everything. So see the cones, you're going to run in this way. When you're running out, you're going to run down that way. So they have a water right here, pool full of water. If you want to step in there quickly and get the sand off, you can. You're going to get grass on your feet, release the sand off. You want to do that. And I believe your transition area, so this is the bulk one, yours is going to be kind of over here, if not right here. That's my guess. I'm sorry. We'll have answers, I hope, by that Wednesday by the race prep so you can kind of see where it is. So see how the massive bikes here? So on the ends of these racks, you're going to have the numbers for the whatever number you are, like 100 or 125, so you kind of know where you're at. But see, people kind of set out brightly colored stuff. Otherwise, you're having to count. Okay, I have 3 racks up, you know, 10 feet down, so it's a challenge to try and remember where your bike is. You're going to grab your bike, head down this main aisle here, and the arch over here is going to be the bike out. So you have to walk your bike. They will actually have a mount line, so you have to go past that line to get on your bike, and then they'll have a dismount line coming in. So you're going to go out this road up here, turn around. So they're running out, and they're going to go down this road.
This is the very beginning of the race. So, well, and that really is people. The way the Minneapolis Tri works is they do a tactile start. So they'll have elite waves, and the elite waves will all start together. It's more kind of start from the traditions. And for everything else, it's time trial, which they get 2 people in water at a time. Jonah, you did a time trial wave. It basically means that if you're fast or slow, you really don't have an advantage because you're spreading people out the whole way. It makes it a little bit safer in the water, so you're not hitting each other. It does, if you like to have a competition, like, you know what, I need to stick with that guy, or you might be starting with him, so I might kind of bring that for you, but I kind of like the time trial starts. Maybe a little bit less intimidating.
Yeah, I'll take off the masses all at one time. Is there a second video on that?
Which video you want?
Number 2.
Oh, so.
Any questions on anything within that transition there? You know, it's a lot to remember to hopefully you're kind of go there.
Is the bike in and then you have the same arch?
Yes,
The out
where you
in?
went out, that's the same coming in. Yep. And then you're going to go to that first arch where you ran into the swim, you're going to run out for the bike.
So will we be biking on the city streets? Will they be blocked off?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And is it separated like by cones or something? So people that are going out are separate from people coming back? Because we're on the
Yes.
Yes.
same road, I assume. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But a lot of the roads you don't cross. A lot
You
of
don't?
the roads
Okay.
it's a big circle.
Oh, okay, cool.
So,
There's actually some videos out there of the whole course, somebody riding the whole course, even the swim too, somebody doing the whole swim, they actually have videos, it's great. You can watch like 40 minutes of the dance.
So there's some people run with their bike shoes on, and I wonder if you'll see anyone with a flying mount. So some people actually leave their shoes on their bike.
So just one note, beware, as you can see, you've got bikers coming in, runners going out. You're all using the same path, so just be cognizant that there's people going different directions
Yeah.
and don't slam into one another. So now we're going back to where we came into the swim, to the bike out. You don't have to run through transition, and if you want to, they should water stop right when you enter on the grass up here, or right outside of it. You can maybe grab something to drink real quick. And then you're on the path around the lakes for the run. So all those mats that you pass over, you'll hear a bunch of beeping as you pass over it because your time to chip on your ankle, that's recording you to say, okay, here's your time for the run.
And same way with when you start to swim, you're gonna have all these nerves. Don't go out there so fast you're gonna burn out at the first water stop. Just enjoy yourself. Remember, this is your first race. You get a PR just for finishing it, which is awesome, right?
If we finish.
Yeah, you know, just finish it and then sit there and gauge where you feel and what you can do better on. But yeah, if you go out there and run as fast as you want to run, you're more likely going to bog right as you leave the transition area, cramp up, and then be hurting the rest of the time.
So if you are wearing the wetsuit, you kind of notice he pulled it down to his waist. Don't try and take it off until you get to your transition area. You'll have sand everywhere. Try and do it before then. You can unzip it as you're running up there, take it off your body, and get ready. You can pull your capazombas off and have those in hand. Just don't go into transition. Toss everything everywhere.
How would you, for people who wear glasses, say there's like a table or something when we're going in,
Yep.
is there some way we need to like identify these are my glasses and not somewhere to have?
That's a good
That's
question.
what I would probably put in a baby as a buffet with your name taken on the front. That would be my guess.
Do they have to sponsor glasses without the water?
I thought there's usually a table right underneath there.
There might be. I've never noticed it.
That might be something to ask at pack and pickup, so you know exactly where it is.
Look at the answer for you. That was
Also, not a problem. I really like that.
Yeah.
well, that's a good question because I've never had to deal with that.
Yeah.
So it's,
Just don't put them in your drop bag.
Yeah.
yeah, no.
But we could have them next to our bike.
Actually, they
yes.
need their transition area.
Yeah. But you have to leave them at 7:45 when you have to pick
Sure.
up.
Yeah.
Is this kind of daunting to everybody? Is this make sense? A little bit, yeah. Well, you don't have to go through all this mess other than running through. Yeah. So next year what are you doing? So then,
Is there a general amount of time that you expect? I mean, because I think even though it's the first time, it's like, what should it take? 5 minutes? Should it take?
So a good goal time for your transitions. Have you guys met Sam? Sam's one of our bike mechanics. He did the race in China and his transitions, which were really fast. His first transition was 1:40 to 52 seconds. And that includes running from the water, taking his wetsuit off the bike, taking his bike all the way back out. And so he didn't stop for anything. My goal is always to be somewhere around that, so under 2 minutes for the T1, under 2 minutes for the T2. Sometimes I stop and take a little more time for pits. But honestly, if you're trying to go gain speed on someone, it's free time in transition, so make sure you go as fast as you can. For your first time, again, setting a PR, just get comfortable with it. You're going to learn more about your bike the first time than trying to go through it really fast. So I would say, try to swim to bike with under 4 minutes.
I would rather have you take your time and get everything you needed versus getting on your bike and go, oh, I forgot to grab my sunglasses or I forgot to.
Or I'm still wearing my wetsuit. Or I have my helmet up backwards, which I've actually seen that before. So, it's just do it right. And, this is your first race, so just have fun with it, right?
Nobody uses bike gloves. I use those when I'm riding, but
For a sprint race, no. It
it takes time.
just takes too much time. If you're doing a longer distance and you always like gloves, then you put on. Just whatever you put on in transition, just add more time. So if you decide you want to wear socks, you have to add that time to put socks on, and that's not insignificant. If you decide you don't like long races, you want tight shoes, it's more time. So there's a lot of things you do to shorten that transition time. So most people here are not running with socks. They have stretchy laces on their shoes, so their shoes just slip on, things like that. But it's one of the things you want to actually practice beforehand, make sure it feels comfortable.
Buy those, put those on your shoes.
So, as far as bike helmets go, I've seen that there's some sort of regulation. Bike helmet or all bike helmets, are they in there?
Yeah, so,
Have you done that?
let's hear on for a second, I'll show you the sticker we're talking about. So inside every sticker, or every helmet, you're gonna have these stickers here. That's gonna just be like, there's a bunch of stickers in it. One of them's gonna actually have a certification of safety sticker. It's not a one-way sticker. And there are different levels too, so it's gonna be which one.
Pretty much any bike helmet can have that, right?
Yep.
As long as it's not like a skate helmet.
Well, it's right here. What, a skateboard helmet's usually those big solid ones that.
But I'm just saying, any
Yeah.
bike helmet's probably gonna be.
Completely fine. And so.
The last time I did Ironman, my helmet was a little old and it didn't have a sticker, so that's why that's, yeah.
Well, most people don't realize that once actually expired, it's like kid car seats and things like that. It's just because the foam breaks down over time, and it gets old and brittle, and you don't have something that's gonna break. You can crack it in your head and crack.
Yeah, I usually wear a clip-on mirror on my glasses for biking. Is that going to be okay?
You can have a clip on your bike if you want. You can have all your helmet. It's,
On my
yeah, that's
glasses.
fine. There's nothing that's gonna say anything against that.
Anything else, guys?
We work buying to get that out on the bike on but then it's a big bank on the transition area and stuff.
Bike, good question. I think they have one 8-station bike
Not on the sprint.
on this right.
I've never done the bowling, so I don't know what.
I think there's one on the bike and there's maybe one on the bike. But otherwise, at the run, they usually have, I know 2 of the 8 stations have at least one. The one on the bridge doesn't have it. So, you'll have a few out there if need be. Anything else? That's an awful one, right?
What happens when you forget your race number while you're on the run?
I forget it.
Or you
Don't
won't?
forget it.
I didn't find out until I crossed the finish line.
Oh no.
It was still sitting there.
Toronto is a little bit more laid back.
Yeah, they did something there.
Than Minneapolis. Minneapolis is very similar to what we do such a big race. So, and the reason why they didn't do anything for Toronto is because the race official didn't see it. So there's race officials out there as well who are making sure people abide by the rules.
Sure.
And they will actually be on the course as well. So you'll see people maybe on scooters or something like that, or just going to make sure that they obey the rules. Are you guys familiar with the drafting rules for bikes? So you can't ride next to each other. You have to be either in front or back. If you're passing someone, you have 15 seconds to pass. If you get passed, you must fall back and give them space. You can't sit there and try to prevent them from getting over. They always pass to the left and they pass to the right. I have a funny story about one guy who tried passing me on the right. Apparently I wasn't going fast enough for him, so he decided to pass on the right as we were going into a water stop. And so the water stop was also on the right, and he realized why he was supposed to pass on the right. Don't do that. Be patient out there.
You're allowed to draft them, right, or do you have to have a
You are not allowed to draft. You have to have, what's the distance?
It's 2 bike lanes.
2 or 3 bike lanes.
Three
What
bike
did you say,
lanes.
Mike?
3 bike lanes.
3 bike lanes. So honestly, on a triathlon, most people are on a TT bike or on a road bike, and you're going to be in the aero position. Your brakes are not where your hands are, so you don't want to be drafting anyways, or you don't want people drafting you because they can't stop. So just make sure you keep your distance.
And I know they repaved a good chunk of the course, which thank goodness because it was a pothole city there, but just be aware that some of the roads that have not been repaved can be a little bumpy with potholes. And they do have those kind of intersections
program is you go over the river and you're turning up on East River. It's a small section and you're slowing down anyways. It's gonna be bumpy, and you're not. If you're on a track on bike, you're not on your own that one anyways. You just gotta suck it up. Last year they had you go all the way to East River. No, you won't go down the bike. Last year that section you had to come back to East River, and so it's at the bottom of a downhill and a right turn, and those people aren't familiar with it, so you go down there really fast and then you have to slam on your brakes while you're getting ready to turn. It's kind of a treacherous one. So I'm glad you really did it all the way out after that. It kind of sucked last year.
Can like slow down.
Did you have people telling you to slow down? Yes. Yep. Especially for things like that where it's going to be very treacherous or sharp corners, you'll have extra volunteers out there. I wish we knew how many volunteers we're at the race. There's a couple hundred volunteers at the race. So you'll see people everywhere.
Any other questions, guys? Please feel free are you guys all on the Facebook page for the first timers? If you're not,
Ooh, let me get your email address.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
throw a question up there. If you run into a question, I know we're going into the race this close. There's going to be things that pop up. Please feel free to ask. Nothing is too dumb. Okay. The next clinic will be on July 5th out at Lake Holmes again. So please bring all of your gear, bike included, for that clinic. We'll kind of do a dry run through of the race.
Also, Steve Wang, I don't know if you guys noticed his post he put on the Facebook group today. He said that he noticed that there was a lifetime team challenge, and the prize is beer, and he was pretty excited about it. He's like, "Oh, we have to sign up, it costs nothing. All we have to do is make some teams. If you guys are interested, go on Facebook and say, yeah, sign me up on that team, which can win beer." And what it is, it's a cross-country style scoring method. So they take we have a team of 10 people, so we have multiple teams. And then they take the fastest 5 people and they give points for how fast you are. And the team with the most points gets a case of beer. The team with the second most points gets a 12-pack. And the team with the third one, and this is like a daughter's pass kind of story, but you get 1 beer. And I don't know how you're going to divide that one up, but that might be kind of bad. So, yeah.
You all have to do the same thing.
Yes, I think it's all the same way. So.
Are we meeting at 7 on July 5th as well?
You know, we should probably meet earlier than 7 because this way we can actually do it before it gets dark. It's still, 8 o'clock is still fine out there. Would anyone be able to not make it if we start at 6:30? I'll post this on Facebook so you guys ask questions. But we might start at 6:30. And then here's the other question too. We're at a park. Would anyone be interested in having like a potluck? We can have like bring snacks and stuff like that and have after we're done. Is that kind of cool? Sweet, let's plan on that too then. We'll put it on Facebook. So everyone bring something to share. And don't ever bring a bag of Oreos because there's only, unless they're the red velvet Oreos, there's only so many Oreos that people can eat, right? See, I already know what I'm bringing. So don't bring red velvet Oreos. Okay.
All right, surprises.
So, oh yeah, and who needs the tag? We have a couple of Dirt Cells t-shirts up there. And I'll go through a couple more to there. So,
Did everybody get a blue ticket?
all right.
Are they back there? Mike, are they right behind you?
Oh, sure.
Come meet Vanna.
Blue tickets?
No, the t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Come on up, Vanna. I guess if you call first, you can take your first pick. All right. 245-9508. Wow. Good job.
So we have 2 men's shirts and 2 women's shirts. So that guy has the same color shirt I did. You get dressed in blue or blue?
I'll take that.
All right. That's size good. I'll give it a small. It's a medium. I'll put it small and stuff. So.
I did. All right. 245-9503.
All right. What size shirt do you like? I think I have a large Legally too small.
Depending on how they fit.
We'll see.
All right, one more. 245-9498.
Bring another small.
Alright. Thanks, guys. Let us know if you have any questions. Discount tonight is basically anything I can fit in my bag. So, if you put a bag. So if you can buy something, you get a little discount tonight. What else? Yeah, there is a couple options